I've been away in my beautiful, my beautiful. I've been away in my beautiful, my beautiful.
We're to get started real soon, ladies and gentlemen. Real soon. And we brought in the cavalry today. Skipping fast right around the moon. Mind's made up. There's no luck when time leaves you. Hot ride in my air balloon. Skipping fast right around. All right. Down to
the, there's no luck when time leaves you.
Yo! What's good? Guys, that's my best impression of Gila I can do for you, okay? Alright? I'm not gonna try the accent. Because then, someone in chat's gonna be like, oh, you racist motherfucker. Nah. We're just gonna leave it at that, alright? Today, we got a special episode. Because I'm bringing in the party, man. I'm bringing in the party, as you may have noticed, the quality of music has improved, right? I think I should take over as DJ from now on. So feel free to tweet at Gila, let him know that he's trash. Okay? Tell him that 1437 is coming in as a DJ from here on out. And you know what, man? Without further ado, let's get our guest on. Okay? Let's get everybody on. First, we got the fattest Ronke on the planet. Fat Ronke in the chat. Yo, what's good?
Yo, what's up? How's it going?
Oh, actually, you're not the fattest Ronke. Okay? There's another fat Ronke, but he's AFK right now, but I'll wait till he gets here later, and then I'll actually introduce the real fat Ronke. There's someone fatter than you.
Wow.
Okay? The Bat Ronke,
Okay.
Sorry. I meant Bat Ronke, not fat. Sorry. My bad.
It's okay.
Early morning.
The memes are interchangeable. Don't worry.
Okay. But one of my favorite persons in the entire space. I DM'd him last time. I'm like, yo, bro, pull up. And he's like, bet, I'm there. Okay? Someone you can always count on whenever you're looking to spice shit up. We got the one and only in the chat. Nobody knew you were gonna pull up, by the way. Nobody knew.
Pull up.
What the hell?
Pull up.
What up?
I told you I'm bringing the cavalry today. I told y'all. So this is gonna be a hot fucking episode. That's for sure. Cause we ain't got Gila.
Good shit.
You know what I mean? We say something we shouldn't say. We're not gonna get in trouble. It's him. you know?
He's the one under the scope.
Exactly. And now, the real fat Ronke.
Listen, I've been losing weight, man. I don't know why you.
Hey, you look good, man.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Yo, what's good, everyone? All right, welcome. Yo, Kagi, what you been up to, man?
Yo, nothing, not much, bro. Honestly, just been chilling. I think the market is just, it's just kind of garbage, right? Overall, and I learned something, and this is a valuable lesson. I don't like to say this to brag, but I've been here since 2017. That was when I got wrecked first. But this is my third cycle, right? And something I learned is to relax while things are not happening, right? Something that I couldn't do in the past. But right now I'm chill, right? Like I'm just letting things kind of play out and just relax because just trying to push things when the market doesn't want it to
Yeah.
to to be pushed. Like it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a game that you love, a token that you love, an NFT that you love. If people are not into the market right now, there's no reason to over tweet. There's no reason to, do over threads, too much content because people are not consuming it. That's the truth. I mean, I upload a video now and it's like in this moment, and it could get like 500 to maybe 2,000 views. That's nothing. That's literally bear market numbers. And it's not necessarily because people don't want to watch me, and that might be part of the problem. But it's also just gaming in general. People just don't want to watch crypto gaming right now. So,
Gaming,
just chilling,
right?
just
Like,
chilling.
not only crypto gaming, right? Like
True,
overall
true,
gaming.
true. Gaming is suffering until GTA 6.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean the
That's
attention
actually-
right now is definitely elsewhere, especially in crypto. I mean, like you said, you've been here since then, and we, for those of us who have been around for a long time, know that it's actually kind of like the same money that's like flowing through, the entirety of the crypto space one by one. So we're kind of like at the part of the cycle where, Bitcoin did its all-time high, everything is like moving towards Ethereum, right? And then from there it moves further down the risk curve, right? And so when it gets to the part where it gets to gaming, which I do genuinely believe, like we were looking at charts yesterday, we do genuinely believe that it will have its moment, like this cycle. Maybe it's not gonna be like, oh, we're gonna reach all-time highs or something, but I think it will definitely have its moments. It will definitely have its attention, and like you said, man, when that happens, that's when you really want to like put gas into it and try to really get as much attention and get in as many new people as you possibly can.
Yeah, I guess it's almost like a marathon running, right? You don't want to be for the last 100 meters. You want to be sprinting, right? We've seen it, like if you watch Olympics or whatever, they're like using every last ounce of their energy. But if you're doing that at the start of the race or the middle of the race, you're gonna get passed by. So you have to keep chugging along, though, even though it's not its moment, right? You still have to do a few things, do that, but like don't exhaust yourself, don't burn yourself out, because that's something that can happen. Like if people are overdoing it a little bit and it's not quite the time yet, then that's the risk, right? If you were a robot, you could just blast it out all the time, all the content, all the stuff. But since we're human, we need like phases to recover. We can't just be at 110% all the time.
Yeah, that's right. So Kagi, are you do you like get involved with anything other than gaming?
I do get involved, but very minimal. I have my
brother is
brother.
the DeFi guy.
Yeah, he's a DeFi guy. Yeah, I always talk about my brother. I always talk about him. Yeah, and I have money there, right? We basically have our monies together. Everything I make on gaming is his. Everything he makes on DeFi is also mine. So it's
you're,
kind of
you're the slack.
it's a fund.
right?
It's a fund.
Yeah.
It's a fund. I don't like to call it a fund just
You're being
because.
carried, bro.
Oh, this bull market, yeah, but I carried last one with Axie. No. I fucking carried hard with
Dude,
Axie
now
with
it's your
Gala.
turn, right? To fucking slack.
Gala fucking produced like $1 million in just fucking like nodes out of a $2,500 buy-in. That was my last money. I carried last bull market and it got us through the bear. So but I trust him in DeFi. I mean, the guy is he's a little genie, and yeah, like he's carrying right now for sure he's carrying. And I don't call it a fund because that's like next level. Like, yo, I have a fund. Get the fuck out of here. We're just like we're gamblers.
It's a family business.
It's a family gamble. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo,
No, but
Sorry.
that's cool too, because that means that because you're both specializing in different things, it's good to have like a voice that you trust to also help you take profits, right? Because if you're like like in a game or whatever, and it's like sometimes just the eyes from the outside who knows you very well in and out, who knows who's looking at it from another perspective, can sometimes save you from a bad move or from getting out early enough before things
Absolutely.
crumble, I guess.
And I would add to that actually, because my brother is one of those people that he's like a fundamentalist in everything. This guy's looking at number. He's looking at like the whole fucking wazoo. He's like, and I had to teach him to just be a little bit more degen, because sometimes you're gonna lose out when you
Yeah.
are too much of a fundamentalist. Like, okay, these numbers, they make sense. Crypto doesn't make sense, right? In
Yeah.
some cases, you want to go where it makes sense. Like you look at the numbers and stuff like that. But for the most part, you have to move with the hype a little bit, or
Absolutely.
try to identify what's going to be hyped. Trying to see where how to
Stay
gauge
ahead
them.
of the curve.
Yeah,
So,
you have to stay ahead of the curve. So
Can you tell us about the 400k Steamy?
yeah, that 400k was basically that's the same team behind FAR token in AVAX. They're the same team behind
F-
Ramses.
FIR or with the T
F-
part?
FHR.
FHR.
It's like the number one. This is where
Okay.
where like he won by being like a fundamentalist, right? Like in the bear market, he saw this exchange called Faro, and then he looked at the numbers and he's like, "Yo, this is the best DeFi model there is, and these people know what they're doing." And then he sees that they're making an exchange not only in AVAX, they're making one in Arbitrum, they're making one in different exchanges at the same time. So he started providing liquidity there and playing around with that. And then thankfully, this was like the luck factor. The Linea team identified that this team is fucking goated. And they basically collaborated with them to create the EtherX exchange, which is basically the same as the FAR token or the Ramses token in Arbitrum and now in Hyperliquid. They also saw what my brother saw. Basically, he saw it early, they saw it later, and they said this is the best DeFi team there is right now in the market. Nobody's paying attention to this. This numbers make sense. This is a sustainable DeFi ecosystem.
So
Which is-
what is it? What is the
I don't
DeFi?
have all the details, but basically the way it works is a VE model, right? A VE model basically what it does, it produces more tokens. It produces more tokens, so there is an inflation, right? So for you to earn the fees that is being generated in the exchange, you have to be accumulating the tokens that are inflating. If you sell them, you're gonna stay behind in the fees. Basically, you're gonna have less ownership of the fees that are being generated. So that is where the game comes in. I don't know exactly all the details of this VE token model, but the point is that my brother knows his shit, and he's goaded, and he provided liquidity there. He's been part of FAR. He's been part of the Nile exchange, which later become the EtherX exchange. And I think he used like 100K to farm that over a year. So you got to have conviction
Right.
to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put 100K here in Linea. Nobody's fucking talking about this shit. and then get 400K in airdrop in the token, by the way, in the token. And something important to note about this 400K is that you could sell right away half of it and get liquid tokens right away. Just sell it, or and they take 50%. That's what I meant. So you could sell the 400 and just get 200K, or just keep it there. But because he believes in this team, and he's already saw Faro, the exchange on AVAX, do so well, he's like, bro, the Linea team backing the EtherX team, like this shit is gonna go to easily 500, 1 billion, $2 billion to Aerodrome levels, most likely. Aerodrome is like the competition on base, I think it is.
On base, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the story. I didn't do anything, basically.
Yeah.
So
I take no credit.
Fun work.
we're all gamers on Ronin, and like this last year, I would say, or actually some part of end of last year, but mostly since the start of this year, I started learning more about like the other aspects of crypto, and I realized how like all these like DeFi and like all these other things in crypto is also games, right? It's just more like how you look at it, right? Because at the end of the day, you are fighting for something, right? Either some mind share, some liquidity, or whatever it may be. And very similar to a game when you play and you learn it, like you learn all the different aspects of it. You learn how to like play your hero, or like, you know, how you need to move, the YouTube videos, your research, how if you want to get better and so on. That's literally the same thing that people do when it comes to like some of these crypto projects as well. So like one of the and for me at least, it's been eye-opening, right, to be able to see all those things and just like enjoy other aspects as well. I feel like it's helped me a lot to get a better view on what we're actually like. I say fighting for because we're here advocating for crypto related things. So we got to know what we're fighting for. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I understand why people find this so interesting, intriguing. There's just so much volatility, man. You know, like you said, he put in 100K, he got like he got like 400 grand, you know, a year later. In the real world, stuff like that don't usually happen ever.
No, that shit doesn't happen at all. And like you said, it is a game. That's why for me, DeFi, one of the things that we're missing in DeFi is like, why are we not gamifying this shit for real? Like, okay, you're playing Cambria. Okay, we're playing Calamity. Okay, we're playing Fable or whatever. Cool. But what if I provide liquidity, and by providing liquidity, I get these resources, right? Just by providing liquidity, I provided ETH, USDC on this liquidity pool, and that generated a resource that I can use in a game that is attached to this DeFi game, right? And now these resources, I can, you know, craft a weapon and go on an on-chain game. And now I'm incentivized to keep providing liquidity to stay in the DeFi protocol because it has like kind of like a game attached to it.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. We don't have that.
Like
and
how
I think Ronin is the one that should be doing this stuff.
Yeah. Think about, is there a single game on Ronin that the TGE and because all the tokens are in the dumpster, did a single one of them incentivize players by in-game stuff? So that, because the more liquidity is in a liquidity pool, the more stable the token is too. Like the less likely it is to collapse. So
yeah, of course. They could have been like, okay, provide I don't know, 50,000 liquidity and fucking, I don't know, Wild Forest or some shit, and you get, I don't know, some Wild Forest skins, or I don't fucking know, whatever. Just come up with something, you know, like like think.
You know what's interesting? You talk about tokens and gaming. I just realized like Ronin hasn't launched a token in a long ass time. Right, so I'm assuming that like there's obviously an internal, you know, conversation with these teams and like, you know, Sky Mavis maybe I'm just speculating, yeah, and they're like, guys, this is not the time, don't do it, you know, and they're all together like, okay, we won't do it for now. Because what was the last token that launched? Does anyone remember?
Outside of Tama, you mean, obviously?
Yeah, outside Tama, was it like Wild Forest? And that was like
I think KDR or Wild Forest.
Yeah, they both launched together,
Did you
right?
invest Kagi on those?
And Wild Forest, I did. I think I invested in.
Big bag. I'm just letting you know.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was that big. I think it was like 10, 15K or some shit. Like, I don't know.
Okay, listen, that's pretty big.
This
pretty big. This guy's like, oh, it's not that big.
No, I don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that because I don't mean it like that because, for example, for KDR, I offered them. For example, for KDR, I offered them back in the day when it was hyped. I offered them $50,000 to invest in their token because it was hyped. I saw an opportunity. Maybe I could push this in a nice way. Thankfully, they declined me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they declined me. I'm gonna say it right now. Thankfully, and they were trying to give me a worse deal than what I was asking, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. You gotta give me the deal that I want, or I am not investing in this. And thankfully, they declined me, and thankfully, they ghosted me too. There you go. Sometimes getting ghosted is good.
That's true. That's true. Funny enough, I think it would have been the best thing that would have happened to them because they just haven't delivered anything over the last years. Like I have no problem calling it out because like I gotta call it out as I see it, right? There's nothing.
Yeah,
it's
and I told them. Go ahead.
No,
I mean like that was just insane.
That might be too much, but like, you know.
You're kind of low, by the way, Paulo. Your mic is like.
Hello.
It might be.
Put it right inside your mouth. You know.
Put it in your mouth.
You know how to do it. You know how to do it.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, what I meant is that like the fucking founders, right? Like they're on, like they're very well known. They're very well doxed, right? These are doxed people, and so I have a very good friend who invested a lot of money, and he's like, "Bro, I opened this guy's Instagram. He's like partying in Ibiza at fucking 3 a.m." And I'm like, "Can you please push a fucking update, bro?" You know. So yeah, it was just a funny thing.
But are we talking about Kydro?
Yeah,
Oh wow,
yeah.
wow. No, that's good. Look, that's good to know.
I mean,
That's good to
he's
know.
human, right? He should be able to party, but like he's like, bro, come on, it's fucking 1 year, right? It's been 1 year. Like, stop,
Yeah.
stop going.
Well,
to
the
fucking
project has
VC
launched has been
parties
more than
and-
1 year. Did you guys know that Hydro raised through the Ronin community alone, right? I'm not talking about like the private rounds and all that, over $5 million.
Ugh,
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
that's
And
disgusting.
you know what? You know what? A lot of it had to do with a lot of it. I'm gonna say right now. I don't know if guys know Jonah Blake, that guy Jonah Blake. A lot of it
Yeah.
has to do with Jonah Blake being friends with a lot of these founders that they declined me because Jonah Blake was behind the scenes saying, "Oh, don't work with Kagi if he wants to invest. Don't work." He was just sabotaging all my deals.
Why?
I think Kydro, because he's a little bitch.
It's
I never
it's
done
some
that.
PvP thing or something. Or...
I never done that to anybody. Not even the people I hate. I have never gone to a founder and say, "Don't work with that person." I have never done that shit. If I have something to say, I say it to their face. But he's been playing that game for almost 3 years now, out of jealousy and stuff like that. And basically, I think with Kydro, he was like part of that. I think he was part of that, if I'm not sure. And also the machines arena. And it turned out that everything that Jonah touches goes to shit. It's crazy. Like every project that he has touched has gone to shit. So I'm glad I didn't touch it, you know?
That's what she said, or he.
Hey, Steven,
we were just having a great episode, Rallo.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We
bro.
were having a
I
fucking
couldn't-
perfectly fine
I
episode.
couldn't contain myself,
Steven,
bro. It's-
before you crash out, Steven, you have to remember Gilla isn't here, and you have to take the good with the bad of the off the rails things. Okay, you have to embrace the chaos.
Don't worry, we're just a bunch of wrong tards in here anyway. I couldn't, like, I wasn't expecting any more, so it's fine. But anyway, back on topic before Rollo derailed everything. What were we talking about? Fuck. I genuinely...
No, I missed some investment and it's good. In the end.
and so
Oh,
then
right.
and
Oh,
before
right.
that-
We're talking about
Yeah.
gaming, right? Tokens and gaming. And then okay, so back on topic. So I think it was November when they launched. We're almost like a year now, right? We're almost like a
What?
year.
When who launched what?
Yeah,
sorry?
more than a year. Wait, it was
No.
2024.
Yeah.
No, it was 24.
The 2024. It's not November
Yeah.
yet, right? So it's like
You're
10
right,
months,
you're
whatever. Maybe we'll see some more coming. But what I'm realizing is that, like, and you were saying how, provide liquidity so things won't crash faster, blah blah blah. NFTs, man. NFTs are actually, I'm beginning to see more their value now, because I see that it's obviously harder to sell them, so it's less liquid, but at the same time they retain value longer than these coins do, right? Because worst case, you just have a pretty picture. You know what I mean? And not like a coin or a number like in your wallet that's constantly going up and down and it's like tilting you every day. And we can see now, like, Ronin is in like an NFT cycle, actually, right? NFT, some of the ones that people really value, that people have faith in, has like gone up 2x, 3x. Some have gone up 5x already. Freaking Ron case at 200 Ron was a 15 Ron mint. We got Moki's closing in on 500 Ron. We got Mark of the Zeo founder coin, right? We got Kitty World at like, I think 3x or 4x or something already. Like, there's so many projects now that not only are they retaining value, they're actually valued higher. What are your thoughts on like NFTs actually?
You guys, you're lagging a little bit. We heard you. What are your thoughts on NFTs?
I'm lagging.
I
No,
think
no,
so.
It might
You're
be you.
lagging, Kagi. Yeah.
I'm lagging. Okay, I got Filipino Interesting.
Panoy.
It's his internet.
Wait, I'll be back. I'll be back. I know what it is. I have the VPN on.
Oh,
Fuck.
Okay,
he's
okay,
gotta
okay.
close your
Uh,
browsers while you're at it, okay? Close your, you know.
Yeah, her
I
wife
know what
is
you
on
got loading
Netflix.
there. We
Her
all know
wife
what you
is
got
on
loading there.
Netflix. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. To you guys, I mean, I know, Stark, you have a fuck ton of NFTs, right? As well.
Yeah,
Probably more
I
than.
definitely I have more NFTs than rice. That's for sure.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah.
I'll tell you my vision for NFTs.
Okay.
I think the best use case for NFTs is art/PFPs. The whole Axie NFT use case, balance team, deliver a game, your NFT works, and then that shit, bro.
like a true Latino. Yada
Listen,
yuri
yada yada yada. Okay,
yada.
listen, that shit. I mean, I think it works if you're like maybe a quantum computer, but until we have like quantum computing, I think humans are not capable of delivering something that's really great for it. So my view take is like either go with NFTs, like with AIs and agents and like autoplay and people like Polymarket, right? Like Gamba through autoplay, or just forget about the whole NFT and your NFT is a unique thing in a unique game because it's just too hard to balance, too hard to it's just too hard to pull off. I've never seen one game correct like do good except Axie, right? But like
Well, you mean with a
Axie,
coin?
No, he means with
and
the
no, what I
NFTs.
mean is like the
The
link
you,
between
yeah,
an NFT and the usage in game of that
the
NFT
the NFT
and
utility basically,
the
because
utility. Yeah.
I think to add on to it, it's basically to say that most projects most projects on games and stuff like that that have had NFTs, it's like a Kickstarter, right? You're giving them funds in exchange for something in the future, and for most people, the something in the future had to be money, especially if the NFT did not retain value, and that's Rallo's saying that it's kind of impossible, or that it's something that's not really working. I would just say that it is a lot of extra weight on a team. You know, you not only need to make a good game, but even if you make a good game, if the people who funded you don't get their money back the way that they want it back, they're gonna cook your game anyway, even if you've built the best game ever.
So
But
just yeah, what
so
Stark
yeah,
is saying, but like the conclusion is like, for example, Moki, right? Moki has NFTs. I'm bullish on Moki. I think they're a great team. Uh, but my point is, let's say you have like the best one in the whole Moki NFT ecosystem. So my point is, how do you balance that, right? Like, how much is a lot? How much is not enough? How much like how do you balance the regular NFTs and the floor NFTs? And how do you balance between the rarity NFTs and a gold Moki and a shadow Moki and then the items? So all this balance that NFTs demand is almost impossible to achieve. So my point is, why do we even connect the NFTs to that instead of like trying to find a new model?
connect to what when you say why do we
Because
connect
the
them to
NFTs
that?
are connected to something in game, right? In Axie, you have an Axie, and then when you play
Yeah,
Axie,
but when
your
you say
Axie is
your
special,
question
right?
was why do we connect them to that? What do you mean by that exactly?
To like their in-game utility, like the because every NFT has different rarities, different trades, different like
I don't think the problem is their
possibilities.
utility. I think the problem is their value and the expectation of
No, okay,
return.
yeah,
So
maybe yes,
yeah,
but what I'm trying to say is, so let me explain you. Like a game like fucking checkers, like checkers, a simple game, is hard to balance. So what do you think about a game that has 10K NFTs with I don't know 500 different trades, a million possibilities of a combination of trades, and you having to balance all that. TFT is simpler than that, and they have like a 150 people team working just on the balance. So my point is like we need to like understand that maybe we're with NFTs we should be more simple. We should
yeah.
try to go to a more simpler version that can be controlled and managed by people because we're asking devs to fucking balance a game that has 10K traits, bro. It's impossible to balance. I work on balancing a game. It's
So
impossible.
I think, Rallo, that's true in the past, but I think now everyone is starting to shift already, right? Where it's not really related to NFTs being like how strong they are in a game or what brings them value, but I think people are starting to understand that it's better to just like provide some kind of rev share or something that links
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
NFTs to
Yeah,
the
that was my
economy,
point.
and
That
then
was literally my
that way,
point.
like the users who hold your NFTs are actually building with you, and these NFTs that you buy, they're more like shares than they are
Mhm.
anything else,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, agree, agree.
So I
Yeah,
think like Moki, for example, that's what they're doing with like Grand Arena and packs, right? So if your Mokis are in the packs, then like you're gonna get something for like every pack that opens your Moki or whatever, right? I think like Kitty World too. Like I'm looking at the top 10 right now. They're also doing something similar. So like they're starting to change. Planet Horse is like
yeah.
gambling a bit. Like
That's a great way of seeing it, right? Because let's say if Moki, instead of doing that, they said, okay, your Moki, like it's a 1-1, whatever, it's gonna be the most powerful Moki in the whole Moki ecosystem. Then Kagi has the second one, and he's like, fuck, man, I invested like 50K, and now I'm the second most powerful. What the fuck? Maybe I'll sell it. You know, so it's like this whole ecosystem needs to be balanced, not only in game but outside of the game too, because the people that own those assets are people. So it's, yeah, it's very complex.
yeah.
Hopefully we go down that route more and not like the
Well, we
previous
will.
old
What's clear is that if
hype,
this works, the
right?
projects that do this, if it works, then more will copy. So it's not the road that it goes down doesn't have to be hope. It either will or it won't, right? If it works and people, if a project works and people make money, then the space will move in that direction. If it fails and it doesn't work, then they'll take it won't go down that road.
Well, let's ask Kagi. What are your thoughts on NFTs in this cycle right now?
Mm, um,
Kagi is like
I'm
longing.
not. No, I'm not really that invested in NFTs just because they're not that liquid. I think the people that can win the most in NFTs are actually people that are not don't have a lot of cash, right? I think because it holds their value. But if you have a lot of like, if you invest a lot of in NFTs, managing that supply of NFTs, like let's say you have fucking, I don't know,
3,000
500
axes.
500 axes here, then fucking, you know,
Uh
it's
oh.
100 fable born NFTs, and then you have, I don't know, 100 planet horse. Like it's so
Jesus.
hard to sell them, and then you gotta go one by one to see their trade, to see what they do in the game. Like I'd rather not put my money there.
No.
I'd rather not put my money in
Yeah.
NFTs. For the most part, I'd rather stay liquid with tokens, and yeah, that's where I'm at with NFTs. I like NFTs, but I only own the ones that I'm truly gonna use, and then like one or two extra. Right now,
Yeah.
that's the way I'm managing it.
So you like, the nimbleness of like the tokens, right? Being able to just sell and trade and like whenever you want to and so on. But like, one great example of like how that obviously that could work, but what a great example of like a better investment would have been, look at Ronke, right? When
Yeah.
before the NFTs came out, Ronke was sitting around like 3 or 4 mil. I remember this clearly. As soon as Ronke came out, the NFTs, I was like, the NFT will outlive the token and will do better than the token, right? And since then we've got like what is like a 15x or whatever, right? On the token itself, where like the token sorry, on the NFT itself, where the token has gone up like at the all-time highs, like 2x
The,
and
It's a
back
NFT,
down.
it's
the NFT
30.
is linked to a staking, right? And the staking is paying with
Yeah, but even
another
before the
token,
stake,
right?
even before the staking came out, the floor was 80 RON, 100 RON,
Okay,
five
yeah,
x,
but not
6x.
400, bro. Not 400. You know what I mean?
No, but
It's like
yeah, but it's still 5x. And
200.
then the token, when the NFTs came out, were at 3 or 4 million market cap. We've not seen 15 million market cap on the token yet. So for Theban's thesis, for Ronkeverse specifically, it's worked out that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the reason why I was chuckling when you were talking, Kagi, was because Rallo was pointing at me, because I'm typically that person, like I have NFTs in every fucking project, and it's like, especially even axes that I'm supposed to master the most, it's like it's so tedious to, even if you have to sell it, there's the illiquidity, but then there's like price checking, and then you come back a week later and you have to check your prices again, and then the metas change, and then it's just like, ugh. So yeah, but
Yeah.
the more
It's
people, maybe the more people don't do that, the better, the more value these NFTs hold. Because if people only buy the NFTs that they're going to play with, then it leaves more room for people buying NFTs to speculate. Because if everybody's speculating on NFTs, then everybody's fucked. But if 1% or 2% of players are like mass buying floor axes because they think it's going to 2x at the MMO, and nobody else is doing that, then yes, you'll probably get a return on that. So it's a balance.
Yeah, I mean, for example, what Rallo was saying, like simple utility, somebody that is doing it very, very well. Let me share my screen here. I
Sure,
don't
go
think
ahead.
you guys. I don't think you guys have talked about this game specifically,
Let's see it.
but I'm sharing now.
I think you need to put, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, there it is. So this is Calamity. This is an ARPG, and for example, they have their lands right here that they sold super cheap, and I like that. Like that's the way it should be. Don't be fucking selling me lands at $500. Like what are you doing? You know, this is the price that Axie sold their lands. That's why I don't give Axie that much shit, at least in public, because bro, like they sold for $40. If you're a whale in Axie and you got fucking wrecked, that is on you, my brother. That is on you. If
Yeah.
you didn't sell from $40 to $4,000, that it
To
went
40 to 40,000.
well 4,000 like the floor.
Yeah. But some of them
Yeah,
were even more.
yeah, even more. Actually, the floor was like 1.5 to ETH or something like that. So it was like 8K, 7K, 6K. I don't know, something like that. If you didn't sell, that is on you, and that is where I take the Axie team's side, where it's like, bro, you guys are talking mad shit. We gave you opportunity to make a shit ton of money everywhere, and you then lost a shit ton of money when the market went down. Like you had so much opportunity,
Yeah.
and like whatever. The point is that they sold it for $40, and it's a simple utility right here. In-game powerhouse, for example, you have your little house, whatever, you do your stuff in your house, and then you got expedition. Holders can send their characters on passive dungeon runs completely free. The people that do not have the land, they have to pay a little bit to do passive runs, right? So, and then you have hunt automatas during seasonal events and place them inside your factory to generate valuable in-game resources. So you still have to, they're not even giving you the ability to generate resources right away. You still have to participate in the seasonal events to then be able to generate valuable in-game resources. So it's not, it's very simple, but it's also not like, hey, yo, you're here, you pay to win, and now you get infinite resources that are very valuable, right? You still have to participate. So if you're like a landholder and you're not doing anything with your lands, you're not gonna generate anything. You're not gonna get the most out of it. You have to be a player, and it's also deflationary. Like what's the name of this game? The MMO. Anyways, you merge them together, and if you merge them together, you can upgrade your land, and that makes the land supply deflationary.
Fableborn is doing that.
Exactly, Fableborn, and there's another one, the other MMO, the old MMO, Ragnarok. They also did that. They also did that. So it's a very simple utility, and then of course you get like a percentage of the airdrop from. That's it for $40. Very simple. Anybody, it's very accessible. You're not killing me on the price. You're giving me decent utility if I'm a gamer, and that's it, bro. Like, and you can use this for your guild or whatever the fuck. So this is a good example of an NFT that I like right now, and I hold like 50 of these. So
okay. That's bag show, by the way, guys.
I mean, no, you asked me,
Yeah. No, that's very fair. Like I think it's just smart to be able to hold NFTs of projects that you actually like, right, and you believe in, and the market speaks for itself, right? And we can see, like, when you go to the 30-day on the Rodent marketplace, where I pulled it up earlier, you can see exactly where the attention is, what people care about, right? And a lot of these projects that we're building over the last years, I don't see them anymore on the marketplace. Like, they're outdated, and people have lost faith in them, right? Like, this is not just fun because of the sake of fun when we talk about like some of these other projects. The market tells you, that we don't care for what you're doing because we don't believe what you're doing, right? So yeah, I think the ones with the new meta, the ones where like for example Ragnarok Landverse is sitting at second place, which is kind of crazy. I can't really speak on Ragnarok Landverse because I don't actually play. Like I don't know what is going on, but when I see the volume that they're doing, that's insane, you know, for like a game on
Well,
run and not
well, let me
many
tell you
talk
something
about it.
about that team. Something that I really like about that team. Because I don't play it, but I have talked to them. I have collaborated with them. They have paid me for content before.
Okay.
And those motherfuckers, they know what market we're in. If they have to pump those bags to be number 2, they will fucking do it, and they will make people rich along the way. And they know in the long term that they're gonna come out winning by being there in number 2. And I'm not saying they're doing that now, but if they have to do it, they will do it, and they probably have done it many, many times before, because that is the attitude that they have, and that is the way that some of these teams need to put, 2 pairs of balls and believe in their stuff and be like Luca Nets from Pengu, right? I'm buying my own token. Here it is, $5 million of my own money. Do the same thing with your NFTs. Do the same thing with your own game. What are you doing? What are you doing? Either you let people know or not let people know. Just do it. Somehow. Especially, yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, I have to say something good about Sushi Nobi here. Fucking Sushi has been rebuying Ronkies for the last fucking 7 months. I wake up, I see the fucking same post every day, and sometimes I'm like, man, this guy is actually, he's fucking delivering.
I have been giving him shit though. Yeah, I have been giving him shit.
But he's buying it.
I have been giving him. No, you're right. You're right. And you know what? That is fair. That is fair. But I have been giving him shit.
Okay,
because I didn't know.
Real, right?
I didn't know. I didn't know he was actually doing that. But that is fair. Because one of the things that I was saying in my mind, I was like, bro, why am I gonna keep talking about Ronke when I'm just making Suchi rich? Like, I'm the one that that put my whole brand for free for Ronke. Not him. He just created a thing and whatever, and we all here put a bunch of time. But out of everybody that was putting time, like objectively, and this is not like ego trip or anything like that. Yes, objective. We're talking objective.
He was the one making.
I was the one with the most followers and people. Like, I went into Ivan on Tech and he listens to me, and like I put it out there. I put it out there, and I'm like, wait, I'm making other people rich. Like, to a certain point, I'm like, yo, I gotta stop doing this. Like, that's not fair. So for me, everything that Ronke does has to go back to the community. That's what I've been telling Suchi. And maybe in my ignorance, I was like, he's not doing that. But if he's doing that, that is bullish. That is bullish.
Yeah. He is doing it. He's been using the fees from the marketplace to rebuy Ronkies and Ronkiverse. So yeah, he's been doing that. But I agree. Like, being a creator, man, you gotta stand up for yourself, because no one is gonna stand up for yourself. Right?
Spliffy Magoo in chat says, if you aren't the buyer of your own token when it's at minus 95%, why the fuck would anybody else buy it?
Shots fired!
It's not even shots fired, dude. It's just it's so true.
I know what he's talking about, though.
Okay.
It's coded drama? Is it coded drama? I feel like everything is coded drama.
He's
right?
talking. Kagi is like. I mean, you can literally say every token related to gaming right now.
Yeah.
And even touches.
Everybody in chat. Everybody in chat thinks they know what Spliffy is talking about, and everybody's naming a different token.
Yeah. Everyone in their head has a different idea in their head right now, which is like, because it all applies,
Yeah. But it's true, especially let's say you're a team who has sold, like you did the NFT mint, you raised some funds, you sold some Ron, because this was an immense amount of sell pressure on Ron all these years, these projects raising tons and tons and tons of money and then liquidating into USDC. Then you have even more leverage to use to buy things once they've dipped. I've not seen a single post by a single game on Ronin announcing a buyback from funds of a previous mint. It's all it's all runway, it's all stuff like that. Why would you use it?
Fableborn.
There's one Fableborn.
Fableborn, yeah, but I mean, what I mean by that, I'm not categorizing Fableborn in that, all the more recent ones, but like of that old school handpicked roster of games. They're just sitting on
Well,
their
you know why,
cash
right? You know why, right? They have
because
insane salaries that they're
yeah,
paying to their teams, and they ran out of runway, and no one wants to invest in them
and
anymore to
that's best
further.
case. That's best case scenario, and
Yeah,
then you get that's the best case, and then it slides all the way back to just full on scams
but you know
and
what?
extractions.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's scam. I think it's just poor management out of everything. We have to keep it real, right? We have to understand that. I think these games and developers, whatever, there's a skill issue there too, right? In life, everything is a game, right? Games are not the only place where people have skill issues. They have skill issues in real life too. And I think with these video games that are being built and like these companies and teams and whatever, we're starting to see the ones who manage their funds better, who manage their marketing better, who don't blow their load on random bullshit, who take cuts within their own team when they need to, right? Or who bring in their own money, right? Succeeding and being more stable. Where there are ones like you said who aren't here, and most of them were more like parasites than anything else. Because what they did was they sucked the liquidity only to pay themselves and make sure that they survived. Whereas like some of these other projects, they know how to like do a situation where it's give and take. Like you said, if something is down 90% or not even 90, like even down a bit, just to like stabilize your market, you have to inject some capital into it to show that
Mhm.
hey, there's still volume here, even if it's coming from yourself, right? Because sometimes that's what people need to see. It's like, NFTs, they can also have short squeezes too. It's not just markets that are being like shorted having short squeezes. If an NFT dips too low and like some of the team or someone comes in and market makes and buys them, people start
Yeah,
FOMOing.
yeah.
And suddenly you have volume coming in that they didn't expect. So
And that's where NFT staking comes in handy too, because it can exacerbate those effects. Because if people are staking NFTs, like I think a lot of the pump from the Moki NFTs came from that, because you had to lock your NFTs for 30 days, and so whenever there was a pump, it was exaggerated by that. And then when it happens once, it can backfire, right? But if it happens over and over and over again, then it just becomes the norm that Moki pumps are sustainable almost, into this hype. So
Coded.
exactly.
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, it's all thought out. Well,
so down bad, bro. I appeal for it.
Some
who's so down bad?
Whatever. That's fine.
somebody asked right here, Trevor. Maybe you guys have an answer for this. He asked me, but obviously for everybody. Yeah. There you go. Op tokens. What do you guys think about op tokens?
I know
Yeah,
Kagi's thoughts on app tokens. I know Kagi's
Yeah,
thoughts on app tokens.
I want to know yours actually from like a actual smart person perspective and not a ronka like me. Like for real.
No,
Like,
I'm gonna say this. Kagi's like, fuck app tokens. I can't sell that shit whenever I want to. Fuck that. I don't want no app tokens.
No. I think they're noble. I think they're noble. I just feel like what bothers me about app tokens is number one, the founder of the app tokens is this guy, Gabriel Leydon, right? He raised $200 million. He's the one that created the free NFT meta, the free mint meta. He's the one that created that, right? And I just feel like this guy is pushing that as like this crazy idea. I created this contract where you can do all this stuff. Bro, any good dev can do that in their house. If they're good coders, it's not, you didn't do something so amazing. It's not that crazy what you did. And then he raised $200 million and hasn't really delivered anything other than a few new ERC, contracts, whatever, and new token contract metas, and app tokens is one of them. So I don't want app tokens to become this like app tokens, like the new thing, the new narrative. Bro, app tokens is good for games, right? Just like the idea behind it, to be able to mitigate people selling and stuff like that. But you can do that without even putting it on chain. But on chain does give you a few extra things, like for example, Pixels right now has an event with Runiverse, and you can earn the Pixel token in Runiverse, right? But you cannot really sell it. You can use it in Runiverse, but you can't really sell it. So it allows teams to collaborate cross-platform, right, without being off-chain, by doing it on-chain. So there are benefits to this stuff. But a lot of the things that the app tokens are providing to games, they can do it off chain. You know, basically, SLP was an app token in a way because the team was the one that released the funds whenever they wanted, right? Or not whenever they wanted, but it was coded like every month or something like that. I forgot if it was every month or every 2 weeks. I forgot, but it was off chain, so they could manage whatever they wanted to, and they could code it in that you cannot withdraw and maybe spend it in game or whatever. My point with this is that it's cool, but it's not this big ass narrative. Like they're trying to make it look like it's, oh my god, revolutionary. It's whatever, bro. It's just a few parameters that give devs like more control over how their
More-
tokens
yeah,
will
more
behave in
leeway.
the game.
Yeah.
And
Like
more
don't
leeway.
don't try to sell me app tokens as this new thing. Like
Yeah.
and the thing is that he does it. Gabriel Leydon, he does it like I'm the fucking shit here, and I came here and I'm the best, and I know what I'm doing, and you guys don't know what you're doing. And my app tokens, you should use it in your game because I'm the best. And I don't like the attitude, So fuck app tokens.
It's yeah. So I think, like you said, it's more about control than anything else. If we're talking about SLP, maybe it's not the best example because for SLP, if it wasn't on chain, it would have never reached its virality that it had,
Yeah.
right? So, but obviously, a lot of people try to chase that virality and they got burned, and that's why some of these games are underwater or like dead. But as for app tokens, yeah, I think this also makes it so that someone who controls like for example, with how liquidity pools work right now and exchanges and shit works, is like if you have 10% of supply, you can control 90% plus of the market cap, essentially, right? So like people who own like 1% of supply, which sometimes for some of these games is like super easy to do, like it's not that expensive. Like they can just dump your whole thing, or like you launch some tokens and they can dump the price like crazy, and then your project just completely loses its credibility just because price is going down, because price going up is what increases credibility in the space. Now that's where things get scary, because and they want to create this app token, right? So that like we can just be like, okay, this is what we're gonna give. You can't actually sell this, but you can use it for in-game stuff. I'm just wondering if they're gonna do both of that, where it's like there's app tokens and there's like
Yeah, of
on-chain
course.
together
Yeah,
at the same time. And how do you balance those two? Because that's
Yeah.
gonna have its own problems. How you're gonna try to balance the two things over there.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't know though. I don't have the solution. I think a lot of these things, the way I think about it in general, is like let's try it out.
Yeah. It
Let's
is.
try it out.
It is.
It's one of those things. It's like try it out. You can try to like make models around it. You can try to predict how people are gonna behave, but nobody predicted SOP how people would behave and pump the shit out of it, out of a utility token that everybody knew had infinite supply. Everybody knew it. Don't be surprised that it went down the way it did. Everybody knew, and even I said it so many times. I said, don't invest in SOP, invest in AXS. Just use SOP. You earn it, you either sell it or you put it for breeding. If you want to breed an Axie, I would only buy SOP. And I lost a lot of money in terms of upside because I really believed in this idea that I should not put money in SOP. And actually, I have become more of an SOP maximalist. Like, yeah, let's fucking pump all these tokens. Fuck it. That's what people want. At the end of the day, that's what people want. And I should have recognized that in 2021, where like, bro, this is what people want. Why am I trying to educate these people on tokenomics when all they want is just want to pump it? Fuck it.
Do you think app tokens will prevent TG failures? I don't think there's anything that can prevent the TG failure apart from deep pockets. I think
Or
deep pockets
intelligence.
is the only way. Like, as in, like the team needs to have deep pockets that they're willing to deploy and market make and like stabilize at a current price.
Yeah.
I think look at World Liberty Finance,
Yeah.
right? Look what it came out at. Look how it's dumping so hard. But that's because like every token is gonna have that thing where it's gonna dump really hard. It's gonna find a bottom. It's gonna start to curl up at
Yeah.
some point, and it's gonna go back to its true price. right? So
But I don't think that's the issue, really, in gaming. The issue is that these mother suckers, and excuse my language, today we're going off. Gila's not here. It's a party out here.
You can say my
Look,
language.
yeah, I know. I'm just like for the show. But bro, like you have a team raising $80 million. Like, what's the name of Exterio? $80 million.
What is
80.
Exterio? Sorry.
It's a team that came from Web
Imagine.
2.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Like-
even know them. And they're-
Yeah, Exterio. It's a team that came from Web 2, right? They have experience in Web 2. They came here, slapped their fucking X this, X that, boom, 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 raised $80 million. Now they shifted to AI or whatever. Now they're kind of lost. I don't know. But they raised $80 million and they have delivered nothing. Compare that to $1.5 million from Axie in 2019. Like, compare 80 million. You can say whatever you want about Axie. We all hate Axie for some reason, somewhere, right? But there are things that we all agree on. There are things that they did really well. And for example, $1.5 million to become the number one game. However it happened, it didn't matter. It happened, and they only raised 1.5 million. Can every team do that? No. But if you're raising 80, bro, give me one viral fucking game or one something, an application, something. Give me something viral. With 80 million, there's no way, bro. There's no goddamn way that you cannot produce something of value. And that is really the problem. That is where my problem is. It's not that the token goes down. It's that these teams are max extracting. Max extracting. Pirate Nation, $33 million. $33 million. I would say that they did a better job than most of this because they actually tried. But even then, they also came in with this attitude like, we know it all. We come from Web 2. We're the best, blah, 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 blah. I think the founder is from he's co-founder or worked in the Cash App team, which is the team of the application Cash App. I don't know if you guys use it in the United States. Yeah. So the guy knows tech, but he came in here, raised $33 million. They just slapped $33 million, and these people just extract. They don't bring that money back into the ecosystem. They don't create anything of value. And that is the main issue that we have right now. I'd rather fund a bunch of ronke teams for 200, 300K that really have a dream, right? To see if they can make something happen than give it to 10 teams. Like, really, if you do the math, it's literally 10 to 20 teams that have extracted at least $1 billion in gaming only. That includes Bored Ape, that team that raised Exterio 80 million, Pirate Nation 33 million. There's a few other teams that got 10, 15, 20 million. It's around $1 billion in the last 3 years. Like, just Bored Ape by itself, I think they did 400 million. And they never deliver on the metaverse. So what are we doing? That's a problem. That is a real issue. It's not that the tokens go down. It's that they're just taking the money out. They're buying yachts and jets.
that's true. I don't know about yachts and jets, but yeah, it's true that there's a big premium, right, for some of those builders.
Nah, they're fucking extracting, bro.
And from their perspective, though, yeah, just remember, they live in a different world. It's not a lot of money for them. You know what I mean? They're like, why are you guys talking about these few millions? Like 20 million, that's nothing. Like that's how they in their mind it is, because what they're used to and what they've been around, right? It's not a giant.
Not necessarily, bro. So a lot of these
for
teams
some of them-
are
for
like
some of them,
X
it is.
Riot. I'm sorry, but some of these teams are like X Riot, right? They never built a company before. They left Riot Games. They used to have a decent position, maybe 100K a year, right? In the United States,
Bro,
right?
they're not. If you're working for Riot, you're not getting paid anything less than like 300K a year.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
No,
but-
you're tripping. Not true.
yeah.
No, in America, are you kidding?
Yeah.
You're a
No,
dev.
I have a friend who works there.
If you're a
In
senior,
America.
yeah. If you're a senior, yeah. But not if
Yeah,
you're like
not senior.
junior.
Yeah, you can be a
senior.
junior programmer or whatever.
Yeah, probably 100, 120, 130 with all the packages and all that stuff. But wait, let me just make a point here quickly.
Yeah.
And then it's not that I know it all. I'm just saying that a lot of these teams are X this or X that, but they weren't seniors. They were just like part of a good team, and they slapped it there. X Nintendo, X this, X that, and they have never seen $1 million in their hands ever in their lives. Most people don't even save money, even if they're making $100K a year. They're not saving money. They probably have like $5,000 left a month in their fucking like in their bank account, or $2,000. They live paycheck to paycheck, even with $100K a year, because they're spending more than what they're getting. That is the entire United States, even if they're making a lot of money. So my point is that a lot of these teams have never seen $5 million or 10 or 20 or 80. So that's what I'm saying. But you're right, though. A lot of them do feel like, oh, this is not a lot if they come from senior positions.
Yeah, it's a lot of burn rate. A lot of people work in companies, so like I get it from their perspective. Like it's not much, so that's how. But for us, it's different because we've seen builders with like almost nothing do more. That's why, right? But like that's the thing in this world where like there are more skilled individuals than we think there is. It's just that they don't get the opportunity to be able to display their talents, right? It's just like that's just life in general. And by the way, Rollo, you can't freaking live in California if you're not making like at least like 200 grand or some shit a year.
Yeah,
Like,
that is true.
like
that is true.
it's actually impossible. So,
But Cali is not the only place to work.
so that's where Riot is.
Okay, I see.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
if
my
you're
friend
working
doesn't-
there,
doesn't
like you're
make
not,
that.
you're making like at
Doesn't
least like
make
300K.
Okay.
Yeah, over there. So it's just it is what it is, man. But yeah, let's on a positive note. Okay, we do have some new experiences coming this month, guys. We got Moki Grand Arena. We got the Axie MMO. The do we call it a demo? Right?
Demo Mo.
The MMO. Oh yeah, good.
Got him.
Kagi, you did the G-Host laugh, bro. You see what I mean?
Demo. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Yo, 2 point. Oh, man, all right.
There's,
Keep going. Beacon.
Beacon. Oh yeah, Beacon just arrived in Ronin. What do you think about Beacon, Kagi?
Here's what I think. I'm actually
distractors. This guys need to get out of the ecosystem.
No. On a real note, shut the fuck up.
here's what
on a real note.
Here's what I think. For the people that follow me on the timeline, it's hard to follow me. I will agree with that. Before anybody says anything, look, I always supported the Beacon team, always from the beginning, and I think it's a great game. It's a great game. It's a great game. But then when they announced that they're postponing everything to 2026 or whatever, people have been waiting for the tokenomics or whatever. They also said that they burned more than they thought that they should. Something around that, right? I said, bro, this team is over. But I never sold my assets. I said, you know what? I still like this team because I have collaborated with them. They have paid me before. So even though I said that on Twitter, I also said I'm not selling my assets because I'm going to give them a chance. This is a team that is being honest up front, right? They're not hiding, like, they said what they said and you take it for what it is, you take it for what it is. But I said, well, this team is probably done, right? But I'm still going to keep my assets just in case. And now they moved to Ronin. I know Geos likes him. I know the Ronin team likes him. So I'm like, they probably are going to do pretty well. They're probably going to get some grants. Yeah, I'm going to play it today. So it's a great game.
What do you mean by they burned too much? What is that about?
I heard something around, I think somebody commented on my tweet. It's like they spend more than what they thought the game would take. Like they didn't budget correctly. It's one of those things.
Budget. I thought you meant like they burned their token or something. Okay.
No. We're talking about budget. Like
okay.
Like they didn't expect some things, right? And it goes to the point that you were talking about earlier. Like, hey, sometimes these teams, it's not even that they're rugging or anything. It's like they actually, when it comes to budget, mismanagement of funds because of the lack of experience making games. A lot of the times that happens too.
Or overestimation of their abilities.
So
exactly.
Ego,
So I don't know which one it is for them, but I am going to support them.
Yeah.
Because I have assets there. So yeah.
Do you know Mordog? Even is like the
Rollo, we
guy who.
can't hear you, bro. You're like your
Yeah.
mic is
Put that shit in
so
your mouth, bro.
yeah. You're good at
Come
it.
on, Lala.
Just do what you were doing last night,
Wow.
and we can hear you just fine. He muted himself.
Hello.
There we go. A
Much
little bit
better.
better.
Do you know Mordog? Is the creator of TFT. It's just
No,
Web
I
two
don't
guy.
actually
Web two
know
guy.
him.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I
Anyways,
watch his videos. He does a podcast every morning, 6
okay.
a.m. He goes to walk out his dog, 30
Yeah.
minutes, and he answers 5 Discord questions.
Yeah.
And one question I saw the other day was actually what Kagi was talking about. He was addressing a news event of a lot of Microsoft teams or Nintendo teams, basically like going like bankrupt, or you could say like ending the development of their games. And he was talking on of how like he was saying like something very interesting, like how are you 4 years into an MMO spending, I don't know, because this is Web 2, like there's more money there, but like let's say spending $400 million, and you're like, okay, we need 200 million more and 2 more years, and this is going to be the next best game in the world. So it's like, I
Yeah,
think
like
this
how?
how, right? So he's like, I think what I'm trying to say here is that I think this problem happens in Web 2 as well. It's like teams mismanage funds, and you can have like really great devs, you can have like the best art team and a great idea, but if you're just fucking it up with the funds, it's not gonna work. Like, so yeah, it's you have to balance expectation, like your idea, what you want to create, and then your funds, and it all has to go through the same canal, and it has to make sense. Because this happens in Web 2 as well. Like there's some like MMO that looks like fucking the new WoW with the all the 3D concepts and like the best art in the world, and this like whole new passive skill tree, and they just shut down because it's like 4 years in building, and like they spent $400 million, and then the VCs are like, "Fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to wait any longer. Just give me whatever money you have from me," and then.
No, that's true.
Uh,
That's
so
very
yeah, it's
true.
interesting, very interesting, because
So
it happens in Web 2 as well.
what happens there is like you go in front of an investor and you're like, okay, we can get this done for this much money and so on, and then they sell it to you as if like this is like a mega value, right? Because their team is skilled and they can do this with this much money and blah blah blah. But then you get started and then you have all these like unexpected expenses, right? Because like, oh, something broke. Oh, we need this guy. We need to hire this guy. We need one more here. We need one more person here. This is too slow. It's holding up our entire pipeline. We need to hire another guy here. And as you keep going like that, you realize like you're racking up all these like bills that you weren't expecting like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, right? While you were in development. Plus, right, wages go up every year, right? Because like, there's inflation. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I think like it's usually because people, they need to, when they're in front of an investor, they got to make them believe that this is value, you know? So they have to like be like, yeah, we can do all this for like half the money the next guy can do it for, right? But in reality, that's usually not true. Like you're not gonna be able to make a successful thing. You're just gonna come back and ask for more money. But at that point, it's like you're so far into it that they don't have a choice. They have to invest in you, or they're gonna see all their money go to zero anyway, right? So it's a tricky situation. A lot of things that we don't know, we just assume like, oh yeah, money grows on trees, blah blah blah. Like, or you guys raise like 100 million, right? Again, I'm not making excuses for them. They still should be held accountable for their unskilled executions, regardless.
Yeah,
What do you
this.
guys think? Okay.
Go
No,
ahead,
I was
Kagi.
gonna change topic, so go, Kagi.
Yeah,
No,
Kagi.
yeah, I was just gonna add to what you were saying. There was this MMO called Hightail that Riot Games invested. I think it was. Let me see. Let me Google this.
That's literally what he was talking about in the
J-
video. I'll send you
yeah.
guys the video. It is
It has to be. It has to be that one. Let me share here a screen so people know what we're talking about here.
Go ahead.
So yeah. So we have right here. Let me see if you can see this. So Hightail. MMO funds spent. While an exact total amount spent on the canceled Hytale MMO is not public, it is estimated Riot Games invested over 100 million in Pixel Studios, with potentially hundreds of millions more being spent annually. Though some reports claim the initial development by Hypixel Studios cost over 75 million before Riot. I mean, we're talking about like potentially 200, 300, 400 million dollars, and they couldn't finish it. And it's a nice game. It's basically an MMO in the Minecraft style. And yeah, it was looking really nice.
Oh my god, it looks so shit.
Yeah, it's looking really nice. But then you have, and then this is where I'm gonna chill my bags here. Hytopia. Hytopia is an ecosystem in the base network, and this one not only already has an MMO that works, like you can play it right now. Bam. Play
Wait, is it the same guys? The same studio?
No. It's not the same studio. No.
It just happens to be called High something.
No, they use that. They use that to be able to have some similarities. But they've been building here in this space.
But they are the same team.
No, it's not the
High
same
Studios.
team.
This is not High Studios.
No, this is Hytopia, and this is like Hytale. This is the one from. This is the one in crypto. This is the one in crypto. And not only do they have an MMO inside their platform on browser,
Wow.
they also have a bunch of mini games, and I think mine is here. I actually created a mini game here. Where's mine? Maybe they removed it because it was shit. Let's see.
Oh, you can go and build your own game. It's kind of like what they're doing with Roblox.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So you can build a whole MMO on this if you wanted to. But then on top of that, you can build a bunch of mini games, and they're doing a better job. And you can import Minecraft assets into this. Like, bro, the whole thing here is crazy because they only raised like $4 million, and then through nodes maybe like 10 million more. So 15 versus fucking like 300 million. That is insane. This team is goated. The Hytopia team is goated. I actually asked some devs how hard it is to do what they did. And they told me, no, this team is fucking goated. Like, this team is crazy. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
Interesting.
I missed the shield. Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not
Hytopia.
the biggest fan of like these block type like graphics and games. Like, I don't know. I have like a very strict requirement for the type of games I play. You know what I mean? Like, I play either I'll play card games or I'll play like very high quality stuff.
But you're thinking as a gamer. I'm thinking about as an investor. I want the shit to pump. I want the fucking... And they're already bringing Roblox builders into this Hytopia thing that are building good mini games. And it only takes a few YouTube videos to go fucking ballistic. You know? It's really what it is.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I think as a builder, I think it makes a lot of sense. And you know, if one day ever Roblox comes on chain, it's game over for everybody else. That's all I can say. It's fucking game over, bro.
They're not coming on chain. Nintendo
They won't. No, yeah, of course not, because they make too much money, right? But if they ever do, like, all these other builders can just pack it up.
I agree. But I think they die before they come on chain. Why change your model and
Of
risk
course,
your
it's
fan
the same
base?
as Steam, right? Steam already does. Steam is the same thing. Okay, technically, Steam was the first ever like blockchain in its own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can track
like,
the skins actually. Like
yeah.
There's
It's like not I won't say blockchain, but like it's like Steam was like their first like network of its own, right? It had its own economy, it has like own marketplace. You can trade and do whatever, blah blah blah, and it's all connected with all the other games, right? And all that stuff. So that's why when I first got into Ronin, I was thinking like, yo, this thing's amazing. If Ronin becomes the Steam of like Web3, yo, that was actually the vision I had for Ronin. You know, that it's gonna be the Steam of Web3, and why I believed in Ron so much, like from day one, essentially.
Yeah, I think it still can be, especially for indie games.
For sure.
For indie games, this is the most important thing. Like, to be able to monetize your indie game, like, and generate more revenue on top of people buying your game. right? Because we haven't seen games yet sell their access. All the games that we are like playing in crypto, they're like free to play, right? Free to play. But in the future, what we're gonna see is games actually start charging like a normal Steam game. You know, $5 to get in, and then on top of that, if you want to buy skins, then you can buy them and trade them on the Ronin marketplace. Basically, that's where we're
Actually,
going in the future. I think.
you know what I've always wondered? Is like, why is it that we never pushed for the Mavis Hub? Like, I feel like
Oh
we
yeah.
kind of just gave up on it over
Yeah,
the
when they
years,
announced
and
when they announced it was over, and then nobody fought for it afterwards too.
it's like
No, yeah.
I use Mavis Hub since day one. Like since
Yeah.
ANSI, I've used Mavis Hub. Like,
Yeah.
and even
Same,
till today, I use
100%.
Steam every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah.
Right? It's open on my PC every day,
Yeah.
and it feels like we're going a different route. Maybe we're going the
He
mobile route.
already, Gio's already said that. Yeah, they said that it's not valuable to them based on what they're seeing. You know, a lot of games are already on browser anyway. A lot of teams are building on browser. There's not a need necessary for launchers. They're already using Epic Games anyway, and then the economy already lives outside of the game, meaning that they can just list their NFTs on the running marketplace. So what's the point when you have a more secure, a better team doing the same job that you're doing? Like all this, for example, Beacon. I'm gonna play Beacon today. I'm just gonna download it on Epic Games. Why would I
No.
download? You know?
But think about it this way, right? Yeah, I think you're seeing. Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Wait, give me a second, guys.
I love
Wrong
that
case.
I love that it's Gilla's PFP. Shout out
Oh,
to the
shit.
Rockies in chat, by the way.
Where's he at? He left us.
He rugged. Yeah,
He rugged.
He probably restarted his browser or his webcam or something.
Yeah,
I think some people ask here, and maybe you guys know a little bit about this. Oh, now one person asked. Football, the football app. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys bullish on that?
I got some steamy from it. Like I got before everyone got in because I follow Verted.
Mm-hmm.
When I was up 1K, I was like,
I'm out.
bro. Yeah, bro. I put like $100. I was like 10x. I was like, this is too much, right? I'm just out, pulled out, and then I think it went to like fucking 20x, and then now it's back at
Yeah. What do you think about the app? Like the concept? Do you like it?
Conceptually, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think the dev missed a very big bullet when he decided to only launch football instead of like just conceptually making like a sport kind of thing. Because now,
But they
like,
are building it though.
they are, but now the problem is you're gonna be building against other people who will also try to build the same thing.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
But yeah, I think conceptually amazing, like good tech.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
I had a conversation with him. I interviewed him. He told me, yeah, we're hiring right
I
now.
saw your podcast. I saw your
Yeah,
video,
he
yeah.
did say that he was hiring like a guru in NFL, and that's fair, bro. Like it takes time to find like a guru. Like like tech wise, he's like, yeah, I can do this. We can replicate it, but the content inside this NFL app or NBA app requires an expert in NFL, requires an expert in NBA, and he's like, I'm an expert in football, so I'm not gonna go and build something without experts around me. So that might take some time to actually bring those people on. But once he has those people on, it's literally like it's gonna take him like a month or two to just bring the content and just deploy the same.
Hopefully
tech.
he doesn't, because I think the most potential of that app relies from different
Many games.
experiences for different users.
Mhm.
Right?
Okay.
Steven wants to play basket, bro. He gives a fuck about. Football.
Yeah, I do. I
He
don't
calls it
care
soccer,
about football.
right? He
I don't
calls
play
it soccer.
basketball.
Like, what would you expect, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Soccer. I don't want to fucking buy some soccer cards.
Oh, my boss is calling me. I need a rug. Bye bye. I love you guys. Peace.
Wait. Before you go,
Okay.
Rollo, I want to say something.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Hear me out, okay? About the Mavis Hub, all right? So we're talking about Mavis Hub. I was thinking, like, I think people don't see the vision, right? Mavis Hub could have been this thing where, like, you have on-chain your wallet, you deposit money into the hub, right? Then you can just trade through the hub, and it will buy shit into your wallet without having to sign transactions. Then it's like you have your Mavis Hub was your access to Web 2, right? Where people can come in, they can buy crypto without actually buying crypto through a wallet, right? They can use credit card to buy like we could call it, like you said, app token, right? Whatever, or Ron Hub, whatever
Yeah.
you wanna call it, Ron Hub, lol. Um, uh,
XD.
yeah. So use that, right? You come in, use a credit card, you buy it, and then like now you can buy NFTs. And in the background, there's a wallet created for every single account that's created on Mavis Marketplace, and all the transactions happen over there,
Yeah.
That's what Base is doing, basically.
right? So like,
Right?
so you have this way, it's like you also decreasing the amount of clicks you gotta do yourself, but you're still creating transactions on chain. You know?
Yeah, and because we're thinking about it, like especially if what you were saying, like if Gihos had said like they're not seeing the need for it and all of that in the industry, but that's maybe Web 3. Look at Web 2. How many Web 2 friends do you have that play browser games? They don't play. People don't play. Web 2 players don't play browser games. It's mobile games or
That's
Steam.
actually a good point. I
And
agree.
so there is a valid there's a valid conversation here to have about that, about like a Web 2 player. You just tell them sign up here, and it might even find a way to make it so that they don't even have to have you just make an email and the wallet's made in the background, and boom, like have
That's
them
what
play
Base
games
is
without,
doing.
because
Yep.
you're right now you're asking Web 2 players to not only have a wallet, but that means mastering the whole thing of the seed phrase, then to get like interested in playing browser games. The one positive there is that they're easy to start, right? You click on it, you play as guest, you can see if you like it or not. You know, it's easy to access. But you have to do stuff before that if you're gonna buy other stuff. I don't know. I think there's a case to be made for it, and I think that it shouldn't have gone silently into the night like it did.
Kage,
You're
muted. Your
muted.
mic doesn't work.
There's this phrase that goes, "Rage, rage against the dying of the light."
What does that mean? I don't. Someone.
I
I'm a
think
Ronke.
that poem comes. Let me see. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. It's a famous line from the poem. Do not go gentle into that good night.
Yeah, well, it's
That's- yeah.
probably that poem is where that expression
Yeah,
is from. Then to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to go too gently into the night. Bye, Ralph.
Oh yeah. Oh, so it does come from there.
Yeah, yeah.
My IQ is not
Yeah.
that low. I know poems.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happens when you step away from the Ronke community. You get some neurons back. So
Yo, no, hey, can we talk about Ronke real quick?
Yeah,
What do
go,
you guys
go, go.
think? In my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm not voting, okay? I'm not voting rice, okay? I had a deal with the rice farming community, and I gave that deal up so that things. And I'll talk about that with you later if you want. I had my 1% basically. I had
Yeah.
my 1%, and I gave it up basically. I said, you know what, like let it run because there's no point in doing that, in my opinion. Like me, like charging that, right? So let me ask you: don't you think rice takes a little bit away from Ronke, like the token Ronke? Don't you think there's a split? And this is a hard question for you, but like I gotta do it. Yeah.
Well, in a way, I would say Rice brought in a new wave of people coming in from like the Facebook and the whatever they're doing with their stuff. I think like it's a marketing tool, just like any game uses a token, right, to launch it or whatever. It's a marketing tool. So I think it's doing a good job. I would say Ronke is suffering because of it, because they're in the same liquidity pool, right? Ronke
Yeah.
plus Rice. So every time someone sells Rice, Ronke goes down. But other than that, I think like if it brings in more users who are trapped for the Ronke cause, it's a net positive, over time.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That's a fair
And
answer.
so and yeah, like especially especially if you're gonna make a game like this, it had to be a new token because otherwise it's like you don't get the same hype, you don't get the same interest.
It's also a CTO. Who's gonna provide the Ronke token? Who
Yeah.
is actually gonna provide the Ronke token, right? It's a CTO. So
Yeah, I mean, Coco, he does have
Yeah,
160 million tokens.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I will say something. Coco is doing something with those tokens soon. Okay,
Okay.
I
Good.
will say that. I will say that right now.
List that shit.
What is one clipping?
I remember when he did do that. He made everybody panic, dude. Co- Tama meme with Coco was the funnest time ever. It's like
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
he's like the whale, you know, handing out like checks
Thanos.
to everybody, and like at some point he realized everyone just keeps buying like the shit that he's buying, and then he just like one clipped them, made everyone panic. They all sell. Then he comes and like psych, bought it all back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Those
I
were
still
days.
have. I didn't. I did say I left Ronke, but I still have a Ronke bag that I never sold. Um, I still have a Ronke bag. I didn't say it because I really don't wanna like I'm gonna dump it. I'm gonna say it right now. Like I'm gonna dump it at some point. I'm gonna sell it, and I think I deserve it. I'm pissed that I didn't sell when it was up there. I should have fucking dumped on everybody. You know, I was trying to be nice, like, yo, no, let's keep the community, but no, everybody just dumps on you. That's the problem, and it's not a Ronke thing. I don't want to blame Ronke. It's like everywhere, in especially in Ronin.
It's a PvP thing.
It's like, bro, like,
So everybody dumps on everybody on Solana. It's the same thing. They just like to sit on their high horses. But everybody,
but
look,
we have tokens at 500 million. We can't even get past 5 million, bro. That shit pisses me off. It really does bother me. It bothers me. It bothers
well,
me because
that's where being the rice farmer chain, we deserve our name, right? Because sometimes I'll get DMs from scholars when they're asking me to pay them their rare era rewards for Origins, and then I'll get like 20 DMs because I didn't get back to him over 2 days. And then when I go to check, it's like 80 cents of AXS, and he sent me 20 DMs over 2 days. And like I was like, I actually sent him more because I'm like, dude, if you need to fight so much for that 80 cents, I'm giving you $2, especially like apologizing for not answering, but and all of that. Like
this guy's paying ahead for next season too, so he doesn't message him for next season.
No, and you know what? You know what it is.
Fuck
You know
me,
what?
bro.
I live in the Philippines, and I have perspective on this. I also come from Dominican Republic. You know, it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I understand. I get it. I get why people are doing this. I get it. But the culture doesn't have to be a rice farming chain, right? Just because the people that are coming in, you know, need the money. Everybody needed the money when they came into Ethereum. Everybody needed the money when they came into Bitcoin. Nobody was rich. Nobody was rich. So what are we saying? It's about culture. The culture in Bitcoin was hold your Bitcoin for dear life, right?
Huddle, yeah.
Hodl. Why is the culture even in Axie? And I'm gonna call it out because Pause is here in the chat. I'm gonna call it out. Why do we have rice in Axie? Like why, bro? Like that's just the wrong culture. What you're saying is we're gonna keep drilling into people's mind that it's okay to sell for a little bit of rice.
Yeah,
that is some communist bullshit. I'm gonna say it right now.
When the bounty board went live and they were like play the bounty board, like pray for Atias and do it for a bag of rice and stuff like that. That's what you're meaning, right? About when that narrative was pushed.
That's not.
It's like encourage instead of just saying it's your opportunity to huddle AXS or whatever other way there is to frame it.
Of course, and call the rice thing something else, like golden nuggets. You know, give them wealth in their mind, wealth, not rice. Like, what is that? Like, it bothers me so much, bro. Like, and I think that has an effect in the culture. You know?
Yeah, and you know what you realize, and Post is agreeing with you too. Is like you said, like you came from that, right? You came from that. You understood like that. Now that you made it, you realize that the difference is actually mentality more than anything else, right? How you perceive things, right? It's like so. I get what you're saying.
It's exactly that. Like for United States standard, like I was poor. Like I was literally poor. Like just making what was it? I think I was making like $4,000 a month in my job, but that's poor in United States. You don't get by with that. Like you gotta pay the student loan, you gotta pay your car. You're left with like $300 a month. Yes, the standard of living is better. Yes, you have air conditioner all the time, the whole day, and your light bill doesn't go up as it would in the Philippines for having the air conditioner on the whole day. So there are standards of living. You know, the roads are always clean, the whatever, for the most part. The cops are doing their job for the most part. The firefighters, you can call them 911, they'll be there in 5 minutes. Yes, the standard of living is higher, but the cost of living is basically the same. Somebody that makes
Percentage
400.
wise, right?
Yes.
We look at percentages, is about the same.
It's about the same. Somebody that is making $400, $500 a month in the Philippines is basically living the same way as me. They're paying their rent for maybe $200 a month or 300 or whatever they're paying.
Mm-hmm.
They spend $100 in food and then $100 more in transportation. They're left with nothing. It's literally the same as me getting 4,000 a month. It's like proportional. So I was poor in the United States. I understand living paycheck to paycheck, and I never had the paycheck to paycheck mentality. In my mind, I was like, no, I gotta make it. And if I go to a fucking chain where they're like incentivizing me to sell a little bit for rice, it's like, bro, like, no, man, like, let's change their mentality. When I went into Axie at the beginning, it was like, no, this is a collector's market. We hodl here. We buy our mystics for $2,000 that I paid back then. That I didn't have those $2,000. I fucking pulled it out of my ass, basically. And I said, you know what? I'm going to become a holder because I believe that I can be the next Coco, right? That is the mentality, not this rice garbage. Okay, I'm done with the rant.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I think that's a great place to end it, guys. You guys have anything else you want to say? That, we're done. We're done being the rice chain, right? It starts with the mentality. I love what Post was saying in chat today. Said it was a bad call. I think it seems that Sky Mavis is also going to be changing their, thoughts and perspective on that. So
no, and last thing I will say. Let me say one last thing. If you actually think about it, if you're 25 years old, if you're 30 years old, whatever, right? 20 years old, you've been living your whole life in poverty, right? Just because you sold something for $5 today, your life is not changing. It's not changing. You might want to, as a project creator, as a whatever, you might want to have this idealistic view of the world. Like, yeah, I'm changing the world. They're selling for $10 and they're making money and they're buying their rice. Bro, they've been figuring it out for 25 years. Those $10 that they're selling their NFTs for, right? It's not changing their lives. Stop fooling yourself saying you're changing lives. You're not changing lives. Their lives has been the same for the last 25 years, 30 years. And that $10 is not going to change their lives. It's just one more day where they figured it out. Like they have been doing it for the past 30 years. You know what I mean? So while, yes, you're helping a little bit, you're not really making a change. A change is changing maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people that change their mentality and become fucking millionaires because they change their mentality and they create a value. So I think the first group of people that were part of Ronin created value. That's including me, that's including Gabby, that's including all these people, right? You guys, we're creating value. We're here, right? We're here creating something of value, something that people want to watch. That's value, creation of value. We're not here sitting behind this desk. Give me $5 of rice. Like, fuck that, man. Come on.
Yeah. You heard it, guys. It's time to change your mentality. I mean, honestly, I think most of the people that watch Ronin Radio are pretty good, like in terms of like understanding what it is. I feel like I'm probably talking to the wrong crowd here, but you may know someone. Yeah, you may know someone who needs that conversation, or whatever. But it actually could start with us in terms of like how we speak to the people as well, right? Because a lot of people in this chat are extremely influential, right? Like you may not know it, but when you tweet something out, you don't know who's looking at it. You don't know whose lives you might be changing, right? That's why lately or not even lately, over the last year, I feel like I've been trying to be way more positive, right? Give people something to look at and something that may motivate them to do better. And again, mentality is everything. And I know that as a competitive player, as someone who's done that his whole life, that, my biggest asset has been my mentality. So Great point, Kagi. Thank you, and thank you for being on today. It was a great show. We didn't have our chief stinker officer in the Ronin Radio. He is on vacation at the moment. He will be back for Tuesday's episode, guys. So if you guys missed him, don't worry, he'll be back. And if you didn't miss him, make sure you tweet at him and let him know we didn't miss you. All right. So yeah, thank you. But if you missed him, don't tweet at him. Okay, don't let him know. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Any final words, guys?
Yeah, go play Beacon, and there is a delay on Beacon. Talk to the team. No, there is a delay. They go play it, but it's gonna be like 4 hours because Epic Games fucked up their launch, basically.
Okay.
But they did give me a key to access it before everybody else, so I'm gonna be live.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, go check out Kagi's Twitter or his stream if he decides to stream it all live. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for taking the information, spreading it, making these small little posts, tweeting at us and everything. We appreciate that. And I wish everybody a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. And we'll see y'all again next week. Peace out. A proper
Ciao.
ending. We never expect that on the Ronin Radio.
No, we
Yeah.
don't.